Right now, it seems like in order to be a successful team in the NFL, you need to have an elite level defense, and you first and foremost need to be able to get to the quarterback, which has put a premium on edge rusher unlike ever before. And luckily enough for teams that are looking for that this year, there are a ton to choose from. Um, right now, looking at my big board, there are 7 edge rushers in my top 32, 11 in my top 50, and 14 in my top 100. That's never happened before. Who knows for any position, and who knows if it'll ever happen again. That being said, let's get into some of these. Number one edge rusher is my number one player in the class, and it's not even close. It's Myles Garrett from Texas A&M. Garrett played most of the year injured, but still managed to put up a very good sack total. Now, again, box score scouting is where you get into trouble. Because while Myles Garrett didn't put up 15, 20 sacks like some people would expect to be a top edge rusher, he's so elite in the fact that he's got the size. He's 6'5", 275. He's twitchy, he's athletic, has great bend around the corner, and ultimately is just head and shoulders as far as potential above everyone else. Number 2 is Carl Lawson out of Auburn. Lawson doesn't get a lot of buzz in the media, it seems. He's a little on the short end. He's about 6'2", about 250, 255. Not overly athletic, but damn is he strong. He's got great bend. Put up really good numbers this year. Really helped out Montravius Adams at defensive tackle as well, which again speaks to just how disruptive he can be. I haven't gotten a chance to see the bowl game against Oklahoma, but I've seen enough film on him this year, watched about 4 or 5 games, where I can comfortably say he's a top 10, top 15 player. Moving on, number 3 is the one with the most sacks in this group. Now, as I said, box score scouting can get you into a lot of trouble. And a lot of people see Derek Barnett out of Tennessee, and they see that he had like double the sacks or something of Myles Garrett, and they go, well, obviously Barnett's better. He did it against better competition. A lot of the sacks came against the SEC. Well, that may be true, and this is not taking away from Derek Barnett whatsoever. The problem with Barnett is there's not enough functional athleticism for me to justify him being in the same echelon as Myles Garrett whatsoever. He's not as athletic. He's not as strong, if you ask me. He's going to be a very good pass rusher at the next level. I can't say he would be an elite pass rusher like Myles Garrett has the potential to be. Number 4 is Karis McKinley out of UCLA. I got word on him in around October, started watching a couple of games. This kid, his motor is always running. I watched 5 games on him. He will be at the Senior Bowl in January as well. And his motor just never stops running. He's 6'2", 255. Kind of played in a down position at UCLA. Also played as a edge rusher, as a linebacker as well. Very versatile, very twitchy. Tremendous upside. I have him as a top 20 prospect, and I would definitely be shocked if he fell outside of that range. And last up is Tim Williams, the linebacker / defensive end out of Alabama. I watched a couple of games on Tim Williams before the season started because his film evals were very easy to get through. He'd only be in 15, 20 snaps a game last year just due to how stacked Alabama was. And in those 15 to 20 snaps, he'd get 2 sacks, a crap load of pressures, a couple of QB hits. He barely played last year and put up 10 sacks. And I was really looking forward to him this year because with him getting a starting job, I absolutely thought that he would be more involved in the run game. And he doesn't set an edge in the run game. And he's not really useful against the run. He still kind of reminds me of a slightly better Bruce Irvin. And that's why I get a little confused when I see him talked about as maybe a top 5 or a top 10 player like I've seen in some mock drafts before and some player ratings. And I get a little confused because to me, he doesn't seem like someone that you can have in all 3 downs. He needs to be in on passing downs rather than being able to actually be at all useful in the run game. He doesn't have the size to be a 4-3 defensive end at the next level. He's only about 240, 245. He's not strong enough to be a defensive end at the next level either. He's very twitchy, but he doesn't have enough functional strength. And I get worried with guys that are undersized and don't have the ability to convert speed to power as well. We've seen guys like Barkevius Mingo, and we've seen Dion Jordan flame out. And I'm not saying that he's one of those guys whatsoever. I think he's miles above them, but there's that precautionary sign when you see someone who's undersized like that and is getting that much hype. I have him as my 22nd player on my board. I think that's a lot more of a value pick, to get him in that 20 to 32 range rather than getting him in the top 10. Notable names include Taco Charlton, the edge rusher out of Michigan, and one of my favorite prospects, which is Harold Landry, the edge rusher out of Boston College, who I have as a very late round one. That's going to do it for today. You know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any thoughts as to what I should do next, leave a comment down below. And until next time, guys, talk to you soon.